Welcome back to the deep dive. You ever get that feeling? Someone's talking, but maybe their eyebrows or their hands, they're telling a totally different story.
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Well, today we're diving right into that. The whole fascinating, sometimes kind of funny world of body language.
Yeah, it's like this secret language we're all speaking without even realizing it half the time.
Exactly. Think of this as like your decoder ring for figuring out those silent signals. We've dug up some really cool insights.
And the mission today.
Our mission is basically to pull out the practical stuff, the insights that can genuinely help you understand what's really going on with people, those aha moments.
Love those. It's amazing how much we communicate without, saying a word, like invisible billboards.
Totally. Invisible billboards. And just to frame how complex this is, check out this quote. The human hand has no equal. It can hold a scalpel and perform delicate surgery or grasp a brush and paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Wow. That really puts it in perspective, doesn't it? The sheer range of expression.
Right. Even tiny movements can mean so much. So let's jump in. We're going to start, well, right at the top with the head.
Okay, the head. A major communication hub. Even something as simple as nodding. It's not always straightforward.
How so?
We'll get this. Contradictory nodding, you see it sometimes, especially with kids, it can actually hint at deception or maybe some internal conflict.
Really? So their head says yes, but something else is going on.
Kind of like their body isn't quite on board with the yes their mouth is making,
Oh,
little disconnect.
that's a fascinating little detail. Huh. Okay, what about patting the back of your own head? You don't see that every day.
Right. That one patting the back of the head, it's often a self-soothing thing.
Self-soothing.
Yeah, like when someone's wrestling with a tough thought or feeling confused, it's almost like giving yourself a little mental reassurance, a pat on the back through some mental friction.
Interesting. Like a physical nudge for a stuck brain. And the classic head scratch. We've all done that, right? Staring at a problem.
Oh, definitely. Head scratching usually pops up when we were feeling doubt or maybe frustration. It's a pretty clear sign you're mentally stuck. Trying to remember something, untangle a problem. Your scalp suddenly becomes fascinating.
Tell me about it. Okay, what about gently stroking your hair? Like when someone's deep in thought, just a habit.
It can be just a habit, but often it's another calming mechanism, self-soothing when facing a dilemma.
Like a parent's touch.
Sort of, yeah. Akin to that comforting touch. It can be really grounding when you're stressed.
A little reset button. Okay, forehead massaging. I do that.
Okay.
Usually when a headache's coming on, is that mainly it?
That's a big part of it, sure.
Mm.
Relieving tension, physical or mental, or just processing stuff when you're worried or anxious.
Right.
But quick heads up here. Pointing at someone else's forehead, super rude in some cultures, basically calls them foolish.
Oh, good to know. Note to self. No forehead pointing internationally. Got it.
Yeah.
And just pressing a hand flat on the forehead? Different from rubbing.
Yeah, slightly different feel. Pressing is often more about feeling stressed or insecure. It's that firm, comforting pressure, not really trying to rub out tension, more like trying to hold yourself together.
Okay, so our heads are definitely busy broadcasting signals. Let's move down a bit. The face, the eyes, window to the soul and all that. Is there actual science there?
Well, window to the soul might be a stretch, but they definitely give us clues. Take pupils.
Okay.
Pupil dilation, they get bigger,
Mm-hmm.
tends to happen when we're comfortable, interested, maybe even attracted to something or someone.
Whoa.
And the opposite, pupil constriction, they get smaller, often happens with negative emotions. It's an automatic nervous system thing. Pretty subtle, but it's there.
Wild. So I should be checking pupils now. Feels a bit James Bond. What about eyebrows? They seem to do a lot of talking.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Yeah?
Eyebrow asymmetry, like one brow just slightly higher than the other,
Yeah.
can signal doubt, uncertainty, like one part of the brain is going,
Not so sure.
and narrowing the eyebrows, that furrowed look, usually indicates concern, maybe even dislike.
Right. So level might be neutral or happy. One up is doubt. Narrowed is concern or dislike. Got it. The mouth then. Sometimes people just suddenly clamp their mouth shut. What's that about?
A sudden mouth closure, often a reaction to something unexpected. Information, someone's behavior.
Like hitting pause.
Exactly. Like they're processing, holding back their immediate reaction, a physical pause button.
Okay. And lip pursing. I see that when people look like they're thinking hard or maybe they disagree.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Lip pursing often means someone's grappling with something internally, mulling it over.
But what if it's to the side?
Ah, yes. If that purse is pulled to one side, That's a pretty strong sign of disagreement or dissatisfaction. You can almost see the nope forming.
Oh yeah, the sideways purse, the universal "I'm not loving this" look, and downturned lips. Pretty straightforward sadness, right?
Generally, yeah, associated with sadness. Though, context matters. Could just be someone's resting face.
True. What about the O face, like in cartoons? Always surprise.
The classic O. Not always just surprise. It can be, definitely. But that shape can also signal agony or distress. You got to look at the whole picture.
Okay.
And if you see someone mouth slightly open, jaw kind of dropped to the side, that could be the oops moment. Recognition of a mistake
Right.
or wrongdoing.
The "I just messed up" face. Been there. Now what about, when someone's trying to be nice, but their face just isn't buying it? That disconnect?
Right. We sometimes talk about striking discontent. It's pretty obvious unhappiness or disagreement, even if the words are polite.
The vibe is just off.
Exactly. And then there's this cool idea called emotional chirality.
Chirality, like in chemistry.
Sort of. It means uneven facial expressions. One side might show the correct emotion, but the other side, especially with negative feelings, might betray what's really going on. Like one side didn't get the memo to smile.
So one side's faking it, the other's leaking the truth. That's like a secret emotional tell.
Precisely. Which leads to facial incongruence. Generally, words say one thing, face and demeanor say another, often something tense or unwelcoming.
Okay.
And you might spot this in crowds too, right? That one odd face out.
Yeah. The person looking bored at a party.
Exactly. Insecurity, that can be a flag, an expression that just doesn't fit the context. Then there's slightly more unsettling stuff. Serenity in turmoil.
What's that?
Sometimes called narcissistic serenity. It's this weirdly calm, almost blank look at a situation where you'd expect, a strong reaction. It's out of place.
Creepy.
And then there's the out-of-place smirk. Some call it duping delight.
Duping delight.
Yeah, the tiny little flicker of a smile when someone thinks they've successfully fooled someone or gotten away with something. Gives you a bit of a chill when you spot it.
Definitely. Okay, wow, the face is complex. Let's move down. Torso and shoulders. What can they tell us?
Well, the torso, right, protects all our vital organs, so instinctively we guard it. Facing someone fully with your torso generally shows interest, comfort.
Makes sense. And the opposite, covering up.
Right. Belly or ventral covering, crossing arms over the stomach, holding something in front that often signals insecurity or discomfort. Like a subconscious shield.
This self-hug thing again? Okay, I've heard about mirroring posture too.
Postural echoing or mirroring, yeah, that's usually a good sign. It shows rapport, agreement. People subconsciously align themselves when they're clicking.
Cool. What about negative signs? Sitting really stiffly.
Yeah, rigid sitting, or sometimes called the ejection seat effect.
Ejection seat.
Huh. Like they're ready to bolt.
Yeah.
It's that very upright, tense posture. Often signals stress, feeling under pressure, psychologically uncomfortable.
Okay.
And literally moving a chair away. That's pretty direct, right? Creating physical distance from something or someone perceived as a threat or just unpleasant.
Building a little moat? What about slouching? Just tired or bored?
Could be. Or could signal relaxation, feeling totally at ease, or even indifference, like I don't care. Context is key,
Yeah.
as always. More extreme stuff, like doubling over, or even a fetal position, usually linked to significant emotional distress, feeling totally overwhelmed.
Wow.
And even like getting goosebumps when it's not cold. A body chill.
Okay.
That could be a physiological stress response too.
Our bodies have so many ways to react. Does clothing count? I mean, what we wear sends a message.
Absolutely. Clothing choices definitely communicate status, personality, how we want to be perceived. And thinking torso again, a pregnant person covering their belly. Clear protective instinct. Or gently rubbing the belly. That's often comforting for them. And one more for the shoulders. Crossing arms, but also massaging the opposite shoulder.
Yeah.
That's a strong, self-soothing signal. Trying to comfort oneself under duress. And of course, the classic shoulder shrug.
Ah, yes. The universal dunno.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm uncertain. No clue.
The international symbol for cluelessness. All right, let's head down to the extremities. Hands and feet. They seem less obvious, maybe.
Oh, not at all. Hands are incredibly expressive. Even just their condition, well cared for versus not, can suggest things about work, lifestyle, self-care, and how often we touch others. Huge indicator of our feelings. Holding hands, basic human connection, right?
Yeah.
And you have big gestures. Arms raised in celebration. Universal joy signal, especially in sports.
Victory.
Exactly. Arms held behind the back often signals a bit of aloofness, maybe authority, creates distance.
Okay.
Arms suddenly stiffening up, usually fear or discomfort. And here's a weird one. Exposing the armpits can actually signal comfort and openness in some contexts.
Exposing armpits.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like leaning back, arms behind the head,
Mhm.
whereas covering them signals the opposite discomfort. Context.
Always context. Okay, arm crossing. We mentioned it for belly covering, but what else? Just defensive.
Often mistaken for just defensive. It can be self-comfort, like a self-hug.
Yeah.
But yes, it can also be genuinely protective when feeling insecure or threatened. It might also be self-restraint, like holding yourself back physically in an emotional moment, or simply creating distance from people you dislike.
So multiple meanings.
Yep. And again, crossing arms while massaging the shoulders or arms, that combo screams self-soothing under stress.
Got it. Okay, last stop. The feet. Da Vinci called the foot an engineering masterpiece and a work of art. High praise.
He wasn't wrong. And they reveal a lot psychologically, like frozen feet.
Just standing still?
Yeah, but like really still.
Yeah.
Can indicate psychological discomfort, feeling literally or figuratively rooted to the spot, unable or unwilling to move.
Wow. And fidgeting feet. Tapping, bouncing.
Common signs of internal discomfort. Could be nerves, boredom, impatience, excitement. Depends what else is going on.
Okay.
Foot wedging, kind of subtly pressing your feet down or into furniture. That can be an unconscious attempt to brace yourself psychologically in an awkward situation.
Like trying to anchor yourself.
Exactly. On the flip side, foot wiggling. Often happiness or excitement. Think happy feet.
Happy feet. Nice.
And finally, foot withdrawal. Subtly pulling your feet back, maybe into the chair. Often signals disagreement or a desire to, well, withdraw from the situation. Escape.
It's amazing. Head to toe, our bodies are just constantly talking, aren't they? Even when we're trying to be still.
They truly are. This whole world of body language, it's so rich, so nuanced. And if you start paying attention, you get these incredible insights into what's really going on beneath the surface.
Well, I definitely feel like this deep dive has uncovered some really useful stuff. Hopefully everyone listening feels a bit more equipped now, like you've got a secret edge for understanding this silent conversations.
Yeah, maybe you'll all become amateur body language detectives.
Huh. In a good way, though.
Yeah.
Fun, insightful way.
Exactly. And maybe, as you go about your week, just pick one or two things we talked about, something that resonated.
Like what?
Like maybe notice mirroring or pay attention to foot direction next time you chat with someone. Ask yourself, how does noticing this change how I see the interaction?
That's a great takeaway. Just becoming a more mindful observer.
Precisely.
So, all right, listeners, your mission, should you choose to accept it, start observing. This is just scratching the surface, really.
It really is.
The more you tune into this silent language, the more you'll understand about, well, people, emotions, connections, the whole shebang. So go forth and observe.
You might be amazed by what you discover.